How's it going, guys and girls? Hope you guys are having a great week. So I'm back today with another video. I couldn't wait really to do this one, guys. I'm just doing it with an audio commentary because I didn't have the time to set up my recording equipment, but I wanted to give some news, some information about a video. Now, as many of you know, on N7Day, November 7th, Bioware are going to reveal a lot more information about Mass Effect Andromeda, which I am super hyped for and cannot wait. But Bioware, in typical fashion, released a teaser trailer, very, very short, only about a minute long, but it's basically show us a little bit more, get us a bit more excited, and give us a little bit more information. And yeah, that's playing in the background, sort of in the footage behind you. I'm going to keep that footage sort of rotating and streaming in the background. But I want to talk a little bit about what we learned from the teaser trailer, what it showed us, and also some of my speculations about Andromeda. So let's start off by talking about it. Well, it's set on the actually in our system, in the Milky Way galaxy, and we start off with the main character that we can see, which is the character with the N7 armor that we saw at the very first teaser trailer at E3 last year. Now, we have found out a little bit more about this character. He is not the main protagonist, but he is the father of the main protagonist, Daddy Ryder, as I call him. And yes, we get to see that he's actually overlooking the Earth. Now, he does talk a little bit about when Andromeda is going to be set, and he basically says it's going to be set 600 years in the future. Now, is that after the end of Mass Effect 3? So it's 600 years after the end of Mass Effect 3. Now, Mass Effect 3 was set, well, Mass Effect the series was set between 2183 and 2186. It spanned about 3 years. So it's going to be set significantly in the future. Now that makes a lot of sense in terms of it being in the Andromeda galaxy. We got to see more of Daddy Ryder. We also got to see a sidekick next to him. This person looked human. I think possibly a female character, maybe one of his sort of colleagues or subordinates, because obviously he is N7, so he's quite strong. But we got to see a little bit of the ship, and it actually looked like it was sort of being built. Now, this for me, what are my speculations on it? Well, I think this sort of indicates that the actual start of the game perhaps will actually begin in the Milky Way. And it might very well begin in the middle of Mass Effect 3. So it might be a case that you're leaving the Milky Way galaxy as humanity's last hope, or the galaxy's last hope. And you're basically traveling to the Andromeda system. Now, if it's set 400 or 600 years in the future, obviously the main characters, the brother and sister, which are our main protagonists, which Dante likes to call Luke and Leia, especially given their connection to their father, which I find hilarious. But they're obviously going to be going into cryogenic sleep, because it's a very, very long journey, obviously, to get to the Andromeda galaxy. And your basic goal, obviously, is about exploration, discovering new worlds. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about my thoughts and my speculations on if it does actually begin in the middle of Mass Effect 3, and obviously in the Milky Way. Now, there are some ideas I have on this as to why I do or don't think it's a feasible idea, and obviously the benefits and the cons of having it set in the middle of Mass Effect 3. Now, let's start off by talking a little bit about what we know about the Mass Effect series. Now, I don't think it's set before the start of Mass Effect 3. Basically, the ships that we have there are incredibly technologically advanced, and I cannot see how designing something of that scale, with that sort of ability or power, was really something that was available, especially during Mass Effect 3, because once the Reapers hit, then resources are very, very tight. And, you know, as you're playing a shepherding, you're going around and getting all these resources, you're really having to fight to get the resources you need to put the crucible together. And a lot of the effort and the energy goes into the crucible. So I actually don't think it's set in the middle of Mass Effect 3, because I'm kind of like, how would they build this ship, and how would they keep something of that scale and magnitude hidden from the Reapers? Because when the Reapers hit at the start of Mass Effect 3, they catch the galaxy by surprise and, devastate, many worlds, including the Earth, Tachanka, the Tori at Palavan. And so I can't see how it's feasible for them to build it during Mass Effect 3. I don't think it's set prior to Mass Effect 3 because obviously at that point, a lot of the governments and the council in the galaxy actually didn't believe Shepard and didn't believe that the Reapers were real. So, obviously the start of Mass Effect 3, they're kind of taken unawares and they're very surprised. Now, there might have been a segment of the governments or the military that might have put some kind of contingency together after the end of Mass Effect 2 and the Arrival DLC. But the gap between Arrival and the beginning of Mass Effect 3 is only a 6-month period, and I don't see how they could design and build ships of that magnitude in only a 6-monthly period, because that would be a huge endeavor for them to do. So from a story standpoint, it does of course make a lot of sense for it to be set during the Reaper War, during Mass Effect 3, especially as well if we take together the teaser trailer where we had the lovely Jennifer Hale voicing over the top of that. And, she was kind of giving a speech, and it could have been a speech that was aimed at Daddy Ryder and the people on board those ships, that they are the last hope, explorers going out to a new galaxy to preserve the races of the Milky Way galaxy. Now, obviously, it does link into that trailer, and it would make a lot of sense from a story standpoint for that to happen. But I don't see how it's feasible for them to build something of that magnitude. As well, the Earth that we see in this teaser trailer behind you, it doesn't look devastated by war. It looks very, very peaceful. It looks very, very calm. And so it's very interesting. Now, obviously, if it's set during Mass Effect 3, there are some pros and cons to that if it begins in that way. Now, from the writer's standpoint, if it is set during Mass Effect 3 and these characters leave in the middle of that war, then whatever the endings were, the red, green or blue ending that we had, the developers can pretty much just ignore those endings and the lore and what happened there, because these characters in Andromeda will have no idea on what happened. They'll have no idea that Shepard won the war. They'll have no idea what happened to the Reapers, to the different races. So it will be a very clean break for them. And, for Bioware, that might be a good thing to do. It might be a clever idea for them to do that, because obviously they might want to distance themselves from that very controversial ending as much as possible. So yes, maybe it's a good idea for them. For me as a fan, I like the idea of it, but it also is a little sad for me because it means that if they do leave in the middle of Mass Effect 3, then that pretty much guarantees that we will definitely not see any sort of cameos or appearances from certain characters that have long lifespans. For example, Liara to Sony or Rex. We will not be able to see them. I was even holding on the hope that some of the aliens that might be on the ship might be like long, distance cousins or children or descendants of Garrus and Rex. It would have been so awesome to have one of your companions be the great grandson of Rex and be able to tell stories about their great grandfather and about the genophage and everything else. So if it is set after Mass Effect 3, we might be able to have that. Obviously, we might not be characters and cameos in person, but we might be able to see, news footage or news reports. We might be able to read information in the codexes that might give you a little bit more information about the state of the world after the war in more detail. And I'm really hoping for that. I would love that, because it would give a little bit of closure on the end of Mass Effect 3, more than what we got. and more obviously of what I wanted, and then obviously move on to the new generation. So I kind of want it to be set after Mass Effect 3, like soon after. Now, I don't need to see characters. I would love to. It would be amazing to see like a matriarch Liara and see what that's like. It'd be great to see Granddaddy Rex. I think that would be really awesome. But obviously, you know, Bioware are wanting to move on and they're wanting to move forward. And I completely get that. And I think it's a good idea for them to do it. And I'm very, very excited to find out more about these new characters. I'm very excited about the whole idea of the brother and sister riders being in the same universe. The new Asari that we've seen looks really awesome. I can't wait to find out more about her as well. So, yeah, I think whether or not it's set between or after, it has its pros, it has its cons. But yeah, those are my general impressions. I guess we'll have to wait to see to find out what's going on. But like Dante and I were just having a bit of a conversation and we just got away on this. And these were kind of our speculations and what we were talking about. So I wanted to share it with you guys. Now, there have been some more speculations about the release date for the game. There was actually some leaked kind of information on the art book that actually showed the release date as being the 21st of March. And a lot of people were speculating that, well, the game will come out at the same time as the art book because that would make sense because they wouldn't want people to be spoiled. So yeah, it would also fall in line with a sort of a first quarter 2017 release. I also did look on Amazon UK recently as well, and that also has the ability to pre-order the game, and it also includes a release date on there. And on the Amazon UK website, it does say that the release date of Mass Effect Andromeda is going to be the 31st of March. So that's also really interesting. So I don't know which one to believe. I'm more likely to believe Amazon, but obviously that could change. What I do think we will find out at on N7Day, I think we will definitely find a release date. We'll find out more information probably on the different collector's editions and limited editions that are available, and people will finally be able to start to pre-order those most likely. And I'm hoping we'll learn a little bit more about the different characters in Mass Effect Andromeda and see a little bit more gameplay, particularly focusing on things like exploration and combat. I would very much like to see a lot more on that. But anyway, those were my sort of thoughts on the little teaser trailer. It was like a minute long, very, very short, but obviously it just gets you talking about it and gets you really, really excited about it. And those were some of the thoughts that I had when watching the trailer, and also thinking about when it is set, when it begins, when the beginning of the game happens. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. What do you guys think of my speculations and my thoughts on it? Let me know below. If you enjoyed this video, of course, please hit the like button as always to show your support. If it's the first time that you've seen a video on my channel and you liked it and enjoyed it and like to see more, please go ahead and subscribe. All right, guys and girls, well, I will be back. Definitely, I will be back on N7Day with more thoughts, impressions. I also have a Mass Effect video planned to upload on that day as well. So please look forward to that. Anyway, guys and girls, take care. And as always, happy gaming. Yeah. Released a teaser trailer, very, very short, only about a minute long, but it's basically show us a little bit more, get us a bit more excited, and give us a little bit more information. And yeah, that's playing in the background, sort of in the footage behind you. I'm going to keep that footage sort of rotating and streaming in the background so that we can see, which is the character with the N7 armor that we saw at the very first teaser trailer at E3 last year. Now, we have found out a little bit more about this character. He is not the main protagonist, but he is the father of the main protagonist, Daddy Ryder, as I call him. But I want to talk a little bit about what we learned from the teaser trailer, what it showed us, and also some of my speculations about Andromeda. So let's start off by talking about it. Well, it's set on the, actually in our system, in the Milky Way galaxy, and we start off with the main character time to set up my recording equipment, but I wanted to give some news, some information about a video. Now, as many of you know, on N7Day, November 7th, Bioware are going to reveal a lot more information about Mass Effect Andromeda, which I am super hyped for and cannot wait. But Bioware, in typical fashion, how's it going, guys and girls? Hope you guys are having a great week. So I'm back today with another video. I couldn't wait really to do this one, guys. I'm just doing it with an audio commentary because I didn't have the